If you've ever wondered why the American automotive industry in the 1980s didn't stand out with high-performance cars like in the previous decades, the answer lies in a single reason: increasingly strict emission laws. In the 1970s, the US faced an oil crisis, and people prioritized more fuel-efficient car models. Meanwhile, the Point-Us government tightened emission standards. For this reason, many of General Motors' GM traditionally high-performance cars like the Camaro, Firebird, and Corvette had to significantly reduce their power or discontinue larger engines, leaving high-performance car enthusiasts truly disappointed at the time. Nevertheless, in this challenging environment, GM still tried to maintain a somewhat sporty image with some minor upgrade packages. For instance, the 1980 Chevrolet Citation X11. This car was primarily a light sports trim package, with a 2.8L V6 engine producing only around 110 horsepower, along with a few simple suspension upgrades. Buick had the Monza Spider version, equipped with a 3.8L engine, eye-catching decals, rally sport wheels, and some exterior differences. But overall, these were still just lightly sporty models. Another special case was the 1980 Oldsmobile Cutlass W30 442, which shared the platform with the Chevrolet Malibu. It was equipped with a significantly stronger 5.7L V8 engine, producing around 170 horsepower, a rally sport suspension system, and lightweight aluminum sport wheels. This was probably one of the few cars in 1980 that still retained some real performance class. However, only about 900 units were produced, making it quite difficult to find one today. Some other GM brands, like Pontiac, couldn't even maintain their traditional strong models. In 1980, Pontiac had to eliminate all large engines, and there was no longer an option for a manual transmission on their sports cars. Buick still kept the Turbo 3.8L engine on a few models like the Regal and LeSabre, but the number of cars sold was very limited. All these changes made 1981 of the bleakest years for high-performance GM cars. However, right in the midst of this decline, a very special upgrade version was created by Chevrolet dealers in the two Carolinas, the Chevrolet Malibu M80. The Malibu M80 has almost been forgotten by history, if not for classic car enthusiasts who continually research and share knowledge. This was not a standard factory version of GM, but rather a special modification package carried out by Chevrolet dealers in the Carolinas. Only about 1,900 units were produced, which is truly a very low number. It's so low that today, almost no one knows of their existence unless they truly search for them. The Malibu M80 was created to serve a very special speed-loving community, the NASCAR community in the Carolinas. The founders of this project wanted to create a car with a strong, bold, and lively image, much like a famous firecracker from that time called the M80. This firecracker was so powerful that it was banned for being dangerous, and that's the spirit the designers of the Malibu M80 sought to convey. In terms of exterior design, the Malibu M80 boasts an incredibly striking, sporty look. The car is decorated with large green stripes on the hood and rear trunk, prominent M80 decals on both sides of the car beneath the doors, a small rear spoiler, and a front lip similar to the one on the El Camino SS, giving the car both a sporty and muscular appearance. These details transformed a simple Malibu coupe into a street racing-style car that was highly eye-catching. But the Malibu M80 was not just about its looks. The Chevrolet dealers in the Carolinas also made significant technical upgrades to the car to ensure that it was not only beautiful, but also provided an exciting driving experience. The car uses a 5.0L G4 V8 engine, 305 cubic inches, with a 4-barrel carburetor, producing around 150 horsepower and 240 lb-ft of torque. It offers two transmission options: the common 3-speed automatic transmission or the much rarer 4-speed manual transmission, ideal for those who crave a more authentic driving feel. These dealers also added important sports upgrades, such as a dual exhaust system to improve performance and sound, a quick ratio steering box for faster steering response, upgraded shock absorbers and springs to enhance stability during cornering, and most importantly, GM's legendary F41 sport suspension, which was typically only installed on police vehicles at the time. Inside the cabin, the Malibu M80 is nicely finished with a dark blue color theme, offering several variations between bucket seats or the more traditional bench seat. The car can also feature a special rare rally instrument cluster with a tachometer, perfect for those who truly love speed. Another unresolved mystery is who exactly handled the installation of the special exterior parts for the Malibu M80. Some sources suggest that the famous Choo Choo Customs Tuning Company in Tennessee may have been responsible for these upgrades, but this has never been officially confirmed by GM or any other parties involved. One of the reasons the Malibu M80 is so appealing to classic car and high-performance car enthusiasts is its historical value and rarity. Remember, this was not an official version produced by General Motors on the standard factory assembly lines. Instead, the Malibu M80 was essentially a modified car, but it was an official modification carried out by reputable Chevrolet dealers in North Carolina and South Carolina. An interesting point is that only around 1,900 Malibu M80 cars were produced, which is an astonishingly low number when compared to other famous GM versions. For example, the famous 2002 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am Collector's Edition also had a lower production number than the Malibu M80. However, this Malibu M80 version was forgotten, with very few people actually knowing about it, let alone collecting or displaying it in classic car museums. What made such a rare car like the Malibu M80 almost disappear from American automotive history? One reason might be that these cars were only available in one limited geographic area, the two Carolinas. This limited distribution unintentionally created a significant barrier to spreading information and images of the Malibu M80 across the United States. In fact, the Malibu M80 could be considered an unofficial version of the 1980 Chevrolet SS because GM at that time did not offer any similar high-performance versions like the Malibu M80. The official Malibu Sport Coupe versions only had minor trim changes, with no significant performance upgrades. The 1980 Monte Carlo primarily targeted the personal luxury coupe market, and the sporty SS version was not introduced until 1983. Another interesting comparison is with the contemporaneous Oldsmobile W30 442. This W30 442 had a 350 cubic inch 5.7L V8 engine, producing 170 horsepower and 270 lb-ft of torque, which was slightly higher than the Malibu M80. However, only about 900 Oldsmobile W30 442s were produced in 1980, making it even rarer than the Malibu M80. This presents a tough choice for today's car enthusiasts. One side is the more luxurious and rarer Oldsmobile, while the other is the powerful, youthful, and historically mysterious Malibu M80. If it were me, I would choose the Malibu M80 not just because of its rarity or historical value, but also for its eye-catching, youthful appearance and distinctive street racing style. But the most interesting part is that the final decision will still be in the hands of you, the viewers, and the true car enthusiasts. I would love to know your thoughts. Would you choose the powerful and luxurious Oldsmobile W30 442 or the bold, youthful, and mysterious Chevrolet Malibu M80 8080? You can participate in the poll on the community tab, as well as leave a comment sharing any other useful information you know about the Malibu M80, because this car is indeed very rare in terms of information. Finally, I want to sincerely thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I am trying to develop my video content to make it even more engaging. I wish you all a week full of joy, health, and energy. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for more fascinating content about car history, technical mysteries, and legendary cars that have been forgotten in the history of the American automotive industry. See you all in the next video.